All right, all right. Good evening, everyone. Ali Safi here, Safi Financial Network, December 1st, 2025, starting with S&P 500. As we expected, market reached out to pretty nice level for a daily top, and we were expecting this correction is coming, and today market just corrected and kind of like a back tested this broken trend line. Does the correction finish? I don't know, but I would say this is a daily top, and we should see some kind of like a choppiness down the road for completing the weekly low because weekly low is not over yet. So if I just again going back to the weekly chart here, as I show on the weekly analysis, if you haven't seen that one, make sure watch that one. But this last week, market just sparking higher to the upside, and for the 4 weeks, we went down all the way to SMA 20. We tested this October low, but we didn't finish a weekly low here. So this is the stochastic momentum. We got a bear reversal to the downside, but I didn't go to oversold condition. So for the next few days, or I would say weeks, we should see some kind of like a choppiness sideways, even to the downside. But that's not gonna be a lot. So that's gonna be a probable scenario for a long position. So if market goes down potentially to this important area, which is going to be 67.50, or even lower, if it goes down to here to 61% Fibonacci from this low to this high, because this is kind of like a double top formation, but it doesn't mean that we're going to go all the way down to here. This is going to be the less probable scenario. I would say market can go all the way down potentially to this 66 to 66.60. And that would be a perfect scenario for a long position for potentially Santa Claus Rally, even to new all-time high this year or early next year. So still, I'm just looking for the weekly low is getting completed for a long setup. However, with this corrective move, I would say this is going to be the final low this year. And we may see some kind of like a rally going all the way up to the upside after this small correction completed and then getting back to the upside. So for those ones who are just missing this rally, because myself and subscribers, we position ourselves for a long position in this drop, especially here, this area, we went all in. And right now we are in nicely in profit. So we're waiting for potential drop for the market to here and then getting back to the upside potentially for new all-time high, as I said, for later this year or early next year. So we'll see how it goes, especially for the Nasdaq is the same. As you see here, stochastic momentum, we got into bought condition. And this is a kind of like a daily top here. But this daily top is interesting because we never reached to this high, and we should see some kind of like a pullback, potential pullback to this area to 24,800. That's going to be the maximum level that I'm expecting. Uh, it can go lower, maybe, but this is all about the probability and the pattern that is forming. Right now, we see that here is like all the supports, and this is the congested area for the institution. We break above this important pivot, which this pivot initiated this final low, and we broke above this. So that's why I call it as an institutional level, because none of us, none of all retail traders, we cannot boost the price higher or push the price higher above this important pivot until we have a good volume, which good volume is coming from institution levels, right? So this one, we can see some kind of like a consolidation for a next tackle potentially to 25,700. If we get above this level, if we get above this at 25,700, I would say then a new all-time high is a very foreseeable scenario for the next days or weeks after that. So we should just keep an eye on this level. But for those ones, as I said, miss this rally, wait for a pullback just to see when you see that the daily low is completed, which I'm gonna give you update as well in this channel. If you're following me, I'm gonna give you update that daily low is completed and potentially we are gonna get back to the bull reversal, which right now we are at the daily top. So wait for that one to finish the top and then a correction is completed. US 30 Dow is the same. we got the same scenario. We kind of like nailed this box area, and it's kind of like outperform Nasdaq and S&P. You see that we didn't reach to this October low, but for the other indexes, we saw that it's kind of like a reach to this October low, and right now we are getting back to the upside. We getting above this pivotal point, and we are kind of like a forming to this important institution, or I should say pivotal point. So we can see some kind of like a sideways down for forming a pretty nice bull flag. This is going to be a completing daily low, and hopefully at the same time weekly low is completed with a nice setup as like a higher low, and then it can go back to the upside potentially to 49,000, even 50,000 for Dow. It's going to be a scenario. So we will see how it goes for Dow. Moving on to gold, which was pretty nicely up this weekend, started up. But I would say, especially today or maybe tomorrow or Wednesday, we should see the top is there. So we see that here is the low, here is the higher low, here is the high, here's the higher low, and here's the higher high. So we got a pretty nice ABC corrective move within this decline. So we got a nice ABC correction, and potentially we're going to see another decline to complete this bigger ABC correction within this bullish momentum or bull market. So still the momentum is pretty bullish in a bigger picture. For a smaller picture, I still looking for a correction. I know that it doesn't go that sharp as the people want to see, but I think this is gonna be still in a corrective phase. And this area, which is 42 to 42.50, is kind of like the reversal point. So we will see how it goes. It's kind of like not the same scenario as a silver. Silver had a very nice move to the upside. I would say this cup and handle formed pretty nicely. It didn't go like a ABC correction, and it was kind of like a news-based rally. So we got above this. Right now, if we see silver is coming back down, we should keep an eye on this level, which is going to be the previous one high, and that's going to be a 52 area. So if 52, 53 breaks below, we should see a bigger correction coming down, potentially to 51.80. But I would say still this 54, actually, not 53. 54 could be a very nice resilient support here. So we will see if this one is holding up the silver. I would say silver, if it goes down dramatically, it should just break through lots of levels, of which is not on my book yet, but all the moving averages, all the trends, everything that you are following up at a nice move for the silver. Today we got a new all-time high for silver, but future market, we see that here's the top. Potentially a weekly top is here, and we should see sideways to down for silver as well. Moving on to crude, and we're gonna cover notes bonds as well today as well. That's very interesting. So crude, we got a weekly and daily low here, and this is a very nice bottom or base forming for crude. I'm just looking for this to getting back to the upside, potentially to 80, 90, and eventually 100 level. But right now, crude is forming a pretty nice base here. So if we just zoom in a little bit, you will see that crude is forming a pretty nice corrective move above this October low. So this October low is intact, and it's kind of like a holding up pretty well above this 55 level. Obviously, if we get below this 55 level, we don't say crude is in a bullish momentum because the bigger correction is coming and the pattern is changing. But I would say this 55 holding up pretty nice, and this is a 5 weeks consolidation. So if crude is getting above this 62 level, which is very, very important, then we're going to see immediately $65 is going to be touched. And if it gets above this, 72 is coming. And all of them are coming with a bigger picture that you see that there are three higher lows here, which is very, very important. This is a leapfrog pattern. And you know that if leapfrog pattern works perfectly, we're going to see crude is just going to spike up all the way to the upside. There is a very nice synergy with crude and inflation, and that's going to be the bond yield. Bond yield, if you just see my post in my Telegram channel, forming a pretty nice reverse head and shoulder, which is bullish. So that means potentially inflation is going to come back, and inflation is coming back from energy prices usually. And that's going to be most sensible one if you want to see in your utility, if you want to see in your grocery bills, everything, because all the grocery products that you're buying is coming from the gas and gasoline, and those are crude products that are coming to those truck tanks. And that's going to impact immediately to the grocery bills that you are taking. So inflation potentially is going to come back through energy market. And if you want to see the notes, and here's the 10-year bond yield notes, you will see that we got a pretty bearish momentum today. And we may see some kind of like this bearish momentum is coming down, potential to this level, to this neckline. If we get below this neckline for a short term, we're going to see Treasury notes is coming to this 111 area. So this 111 area, that would be a pretty nice institutional level, because I believe that that's going to complete its weekly, monthly, and potentially daily low here. And we can see Treasury potentially is going to get back to the upside. But right now, Treasury is in a trouble right now just because of the short term. We see that the crude is bottoming, and this head and shoulder pattern exactly correlated with TBT, which is bond yield, and bond yield is forming a reverse head and shoulder. So that means bond is going to go down and bond yield is going to go higher in a shorter time frame. So all in all, I should say a bond yield, if it goes higher, it can drag the stock market to higher prices as well, like the previous years. You see that people are panicking because of the inflation, but see the stock market, we are pretty close to, again, all-time high. So if it was a fear or something, it's going to be temporary. But bigger picture in 2026, I would say it's going to be a bearish, but it's not going to end something like that. All right, folks, hope you like this video. If you like this video, please smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, and have a good one. See you on the chart. Bye-bye.